Hello everybody! I'm very happy to see you here. Hopefully you're doing well. Apologize for such a long time period since my introduction episode, but the whole April I worked in a Norwegian production, and whole May, June and first weeks of July I spent almost every day working in American production, being shot here in various locations of Lithuania. Basically, I didn't have any time for anything else. However, now it's time to move on. In this episode number 2, I will be talking about cinema, and specifically about one from many possible occupations you can work in this mysterious industry. That occupation is called stills photographer. I'm working under this title almost 10 years, and let me tell you everything about it. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like this video. So stay tuned and let's go! Nowadays, we watch movies, TV series, documentaries and other similar things more on your smart TV or laptop screens, rather than witnessing same thing on a big cinema theater screen. I don't know exact statistics, but I know for sure that years ago, people had the choice of only the cinema, then TV came along, a little bit later VHS era, then DVD era, and finally various video-on-demand platforms. This industry was and still is changing, but producers and distributors will always find ways how to sell their movies or how to reach final viewers either in cinema theaters or through various online platforms. However, what is not changing is all the behind-the-scenes life of every project. Since the formation of Hollywood cinema system about 100 years ago, probably not much until these days has changed in regards of various jobs people can work. I guess that 99% of people know that behind every movie there is a director, actors, producers, and maybe a sound engineer who records sound so that you could hear what actors are talking. But I'm almost sure that not so many people think about who is capturing pictures for all those posters, banners, leaflets, massive billboards, or material for various internet publications which promote each project. That person is stills photographer, unit photographer, film stills photographer, behind-the-scenes photographer. There are a couple of ways how we can call such person. With the advent of smaller, portable and faster cameras, there has always been a photographer on a film set. Perfect example is with an absolute year 1927 classical Fritz Lang film Metropolis. Almost 100 years ago, there was a photographer who worked together with the crew and was trying to get some shots for publicity and promotion of the movie. It's just crazy when you think about that. Let's come back to the current times and let's see why stills photographer on set are still so important. Success of the film is not always guaranteed just because of the more famous actors or directors. Marketing campaign before launch is also one of the more crucial aspects of project's future success. Movie trailers are no-brainers, but if there are enough of different kind of visual materials for amazing posters or various banners you can probably see next to the cinema theaters outside, or in various VOD platforms, small thumbnails for each episode just before you click play, or pictures in various internet article publications with some gossips, behind the scenes and official stills which represent the movie itself, you might have a winner. Usually, stills photographers are hired for a certain amount of shooting days so that they could work together with the crew and create all the required material. Most often that includes behind-the-scenes shots of what is happening behind the camera, specific photographs used later as props in the movie itself, official stills or such photographs which could explain and represent what this movie is about or reveal actors playing in character with costumes, or so-called gallery shots which are shot in the studio and later are used for creating posters and other marketing material. Basically, such person has to stay focused all the time and shoot everything what might be possible to use for marketing. Every producer and publicist will say massive thanks if there will be enough pictures which show how very complicated scenes were built, how stunt people do their job, or massive explosions take place, how huge size beautifully decorated locations look, and if they will have enough different kind of stills with main characters who were captured while in action. You might think that it's an amazing job, which actually it is. However, you have to remember that film set is a very intimate place where a lot of people are doing their own jobs, usually in tight places. There are unwritten rules. Sometimes some actors or directors who even don't like photographers being on set. They don't want to see them. Sometimes extremely tiny locations where you just can't fit physically in because of other crew members. Working hours are long. Most of the time weather doesn't matter. You can work in the Arctic or in a desert, in a tropical rain or anywhere basically. In the caves where it's extremely cold. This job is not for everyone. However, if you have an eye for reportage style of shooting, come along with different kinds of people, have knowledge in studio lighting and can adapt to fast-paced environment, you might have actually high chances of enjoying such job. Most of my friends and people who know me personally in Lithuania know that I am the person who is working in film industry and taking behind-the-scenes pictures. All this journey started almost 10 years ago when I was offered to take some pictures on set in production called The Heritage of Love. I worked on that film only 5 days, but it was enough that I would understand and make a decision to pursue this in the future. I was amazed at this magical process of the film industry and still enjoying it very much up until now. Lithuanian film industry is not that large in comparison with Germany or the United Kingdom's one. Here everyone knows each other, so it wasn't that difficult to start receiving calls from different productions in the future. Slowly, project after the project, working as a stills photographer on set, I understood the essences of this craft and up until today try to keep high level quality of work and improve them all the time. We do have our own local productions, however, I tend to work more with foreign projects which are being shot here in Lithuania. Currently, more and more production companies from Scandinavia, Germany or the United Kingdom are deciding to shoot their projects here in my country. In episode number 1, I told you that Lithuania is very beautiful, so that's one of the reasons why. Daily routine of a stills photographer on set is actually nothing very special. Unless you have a specific request for certain pictures, only a photographer can decide what and how to shoot. That's your job, and only with the experience you start to know and feel what is worth capturing. To successfully have all the shots you need from each scenes, which are planned on the daily call sheet, I tend to follow a shot list which consists of wide, medium and close-up shots. If the scene was really good and I thought about getting some more extra shots, or I didn't have enough space to be on set because of other crew members, as I told you before, I stage actors and create so-called quick setups after the scene is finished. Usually, most of the film productions are following same wide, medium and close-up shooting scenario, so it's quite easy to adapt and find your spot on set. One thing which really works for me is that when camera shoots wide shot, I try to do wides and close-ups before cameras start shooting tighter shots. From experience, I can tell you that when cameras start shooting tighter shots, it gets way harder to capture something special, because most of the time lights are being brought closer to the talent, there are less space around the camera, actors' eye lines are way more important because you're just physically closer and they're looking and you might be in the way. If there is a need for gallery shots, usually I bring standard studio paper background and couple of lights. I love when productions have clear idea what they want and provide some examples or inspirations for final key art and posters. Last year on a Norwegian project, Convoy, producers knew exactly what they wanted and it was just a breeze. Result is amazing, I love it. If there is no requirement for specific gallery shoot, then production graphic designers create something beautiful from your set images. Only the sky is limit. They take pictures from one scene from another, they add some graphics, texts and boom, poster is done. After shooting day, I go through the files in Lightroom and make smaller selections separated in behind the scenes and stills folders. This way, producers can more easily to navigate and find the best shots. Then I try to simply color correct my selection or match slightly closer to how camera recorded the footage, because they use some kind of different LUTs and it's nice to have your stills similar. Finally, I export the required formats. In the end, JPEG and RAW files usually are provided anyway. One of the most memorable projects I have worked on are There Is Something in a Barn, Vesper, CC, Instrument of War, Sobibor, Outstealing Horses, and most recent one, Truth and Conviction. If you would like to hear some stories from those projects, subscribe this channel and look forward for future episodes. This was a very long talk, but I just couldn't make it shorter. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below, and I will try to do a follow-up episode on this topic. I'm leaving you with this beautiful panorama of Viršuliškės district and saying you goodbye and thank you. So, until the next time.